Yeah, we got another video. This video, I'm going to be doing somewhat of a deep dive into why rappers fall off and why albums flop. I think this video is gonna be called "Why Rappers Fall Off," but it's kind of gonna be a mix of both of what I just said, right? And it's not gonna be like an extreme deep dive, not with like extreme editing or anything like that. But I do I love rap music, right? So the from the moment I've been like truly following rap music, which was like 2019 to now, I have a pretty good understanding of what albums are gonna do well, what albums aren't gonna do well, like commercial wise. And I'm not saying like if I like it, man, I'm not saying if I hear an album and I like it, that means it's gonna do well. That I'm saying that how it's gonna do well according to the people, not me. Because there's certain albums that obviously I love that don't do well commercially that people don't really talk about. But I think dropping an album, there's a lot of things that goes into it, right? One of them is promotion, right? Promotion is simple. Um, I'm gonna look up the definition of promotion for y'all, right? Activity that supports or provides active encouragement the for furtherance of a cause. So basically, let's go with "Might Delete Later" by J. Cole. "Might Delete Later" by J. Cole was an album that no one knew was dropping until it dropped. Um, I don't remember the release date for this album. Um, this album dropped April 5th, 2024. Obviously, this is a couple weeks after Kendrick dropped the Like That verse and everything like that. That's basically the only promotion this album got because people wanted to hear what J. Cole had to say after Kendrick technically did take shots at also J. Cole on the Like That record, right? And that's one thing that goes into an album. Do people want to hear your music? Right? Um, Obviously J. Cole's a big artist, one of the biggest artists of 2010s, has plenty of hits, has a couple diamond songs, a lot of platinum songs, right? But this album could have been way bigger if he just simply promoted it, right? I don't came out with no promo, still sold well. I don't know, man, I don't remember if it went number one or not. I don't think it did actually, but it still sold between 140K, 160K with no promotion. However, I think if the Like That record didn't come out and he didn't have a record initially that was dissing Kendrick Lamar on it, I think it sells closer to 80 to 120K. Um, like I said, promotion goes a long way, and J Cole is really the only rapper I can think of that drops like a completely unknown album that no one knew that was actually dropping. So J Cole might be the only example I have for like um true promotion because every other rapper has some type of promotion, whether it's a single, whether it's Instagram post, whether it's going on tour. But J Cole definitely is one. Not J Cole. Oh wait, yeah, J Cole is definitely proving one of the factors that you do have to promote your album for your album to be as big as what it can be. Now, what J Cole did after, what's it called? Oh yeah, J Cole dropping Grippy after this project came out also affected it, and the apology. So J Cole's rep got affected. So I don't think J Cole was planning to drop the off season last year, or I don't even think he's gonna drop it this year. But um, it would have been a horrible time for J Cole to drop the off season, right? Because obviously he's been promoting the off season since I want to say like 2020, honestly. But if he dropped the off season last year, probably would have done the worst out of anything he's ever dropped. And that's just putting it simply just because how bad of a spot he was in. But J. Cole could easily come back. It's not like J. Cole is like a new artist that had one album and then, slow down. Right. But let me go back to my notepad. Another thing that goes into now is anticipation. Like I said, people gotta want to hear your music. I'm gonna look up the definition for anticipation for y'all. Anticipation means the action of anticipating something, expectation or prediction, right? And there's a lot of reasons why people would anticipate your music, right? Um, you could be like a Playboi Carti or Lil Uzi or Travis Scott, whatever. Um, and just not drop for years. That's simply become a strategy for creating anticipation. Um, you know, for some reason music's not in here, but obviously Cardi's infamous for taking 2.5 years between Dial-It and Whole Lotta Red, and 4.5 years between Whole Lotta Red and music, or 5 years if you want to drag it. But that's a long time between music, especially for a new artist, newer artist. That's not like a rapper or artist that's been in the game for a while. You're talking about someone who's had two actual studio albums, just now dropping their third studio album in 2025, right? But I mean, that's really worked, right? Um, wait, I'm probably gotta put Cardi in front of it. Oh no, I don't. Music did end up selling 300K first week, which honestly I thought it would sell more, but I thought it would sell more because merch bundles. Um, my bad. I was reading the thing at the bottom. I don't know why Hurry Up Tomorrow and Cash for You is down here, but what was I about to say? Oh yeah, music selling 300K. I thought it was gonna sell more, but I think that's because they didn't include merch bundles, even though I thought they started doing it again after Utopia dropped. But that's not the point, right? Creating what you go? Yeah, having these times out where you're not dropping music for longer than 2 years, that creates anticipation on its own. It's like, what has this person been working on for multiple years? It's gotta be fantastic music if they're taking that long, right? Because if you go to an album like Eternal Take Two by Lil Uzi, excuse me, Eternal Take Two did not do that great. Now, since it is Lil Uzi, I think he still sold like 80K or 700K, something like that. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Okay, apparently only sold 60 copies, which did not go number one. It actually went number three. First, Lil Uzi's first studio album that did not go what's it called, number one, right? And I will say, to get to the third category real quick, going back to the notepad, it's music. The music on the album does matter, right? Um, I don't need to look up the definition of music. Y'all know what music is. But going to Live Life Fast by Roddy Rich. Live Life Fast did have some elements of the first two things I said, which is promotion and anticipation. But the music on Live Life Fast was not that great. Um, there was some good moments in the album, but overall the album sounded lazy, and he didn't really have a lot of energy in most of the tracks, right? But again, this is not me saying that every song in the album was trash, like over exaggerating it like a lot of people did. But again, he had Late at Night. Late at Night was a pretty good hit that was playing on the radio. Um, he had that song on it, and aside of that, he didn't really do that much crazy promotion. It's not like he went on a like a Twitch stream before the album dropped, or went on a tour or something like that before the album dropped. But he did do a couple things. Just the music on the album wasn't that great, and it didn't even sell well. I may not even find the sales for this because like I think that's how bad it did. Maybe if I click on this site, bro, I'm just trying to figure out how much it sold, man. Okay, it also sold 60K first week, similarly to Eternal Take Two. Again, it didn't go number one. Sometimes 60K is enough to go number one, but it just depends on what's on the chart at that time. But even the songs on that didn't really get that much traction. I mean, you could sort of kind of say Abachi, but like obviously the features on the album, which kind of is a smaller aspect, is an important part of making albums too, right? Because more than likely, if you have an album with no features, it's gonna do worse than an album that does have features. I can't think of off the top of my head albums that don't necessarily have features, but what's about to say? Wait, what was that? Song? Oh yeah, I can't think of off the top of my head albums that don't have features that came out recently. Because I can think of Lil Uzi versus the World, but that's pretty much the only one I could think of. That came out in 2016 though. I feel like me putting that in this video wouldn't even be fair, just because that was before the streaming era. Obviously J Cole. I forgot which project it was. Had a no feature album. Um, I can't remember who else did. It's just not a good promotion move. It's not good for sales, and you gotta realize people look at first week sales nowadays. People aren't going to want to listen to someone who's not getting the first week sales because it's just not the craziest thing to do, right? Now there is albums that kind of break this code, if you want to say, right? Because Wham, Wham dropped at the start of this year. Wham sold like 150K first week, which was crazy. I didn't expect Lil Baby to sell that much. Obviously, you're gonna go number one selling 150K first week unless some big artist is on the chart at that time. But usually artists don't like to drop at the start of the year. I peep that out. They usually like to drop like towards summer or in fall. But what's it about to say? Wham Wham didn't have like this. Wham did have anticipation, right? Because he used the Playboy Cardi technique. Technically, before Wham, Lil Baby didn't drop an actual album. Wait, no, not technically. He didn't drop an album since It's Only Me. Now he was dropping singles. He was dropping features. It's not like he completely went ghost like Cardi did. Because if you looked at Cardi's Spotify before he dropped music, it was literally a whole lot of rap. If you looked at Lil Baby, he was gonna have a couple singles on there and stuff like that. But people weren't liking the singles. DJ Academics was hating on him. People were hating on him on social media, and usually that's a way or a route um for that rapper to start falling off. But this album actually sold well. Now the promotion for this album, I don't think it was that crazy. I'm gonna be honest. I think the only promotion that he really had for the album was Young Thug getting out of jail and just having Dumb and Dumber on the track list. Um, but besides that, you could really say it was the features because obviously 21 Savage, Travis Scott, all those people were on the album. But if I look at an album like Mansion Music by Trippie Redd, Mansion Music had crazy features and didn't do well at all. Now I am comparing Trippie Redd to Lil Baby. Has um Lil Baby has been one of the most streamed rappers since like I want to say 2018. But I don't know. I feel like there's something fishy about what Wham sold specifically. Is usually those three criterias goes into how album sells. Now Wham wasn't a bad album, but it wasn't like this time tested album that's gonna be um in everybody's playlist for years. Like I like a lot of the songs of the album, but I'm not really going back to Wham just because It's Only Me and My Turn is better. Old Lil Baby is better. Like there's no point of really going back to Wham because Lil Baby doesn't really change his style that much, right? But like I said, Mansion Music didn't sell that well at all. I believe it only sold like 30K. But let me see if I can find the first week sales. I may not be able to, bro. Yep, only sold 51K. Keep in mind, this is a 30 song album. Again, though, we got features from Travis, Kodak. Who else was on the track list? Future, Lil Baby, Lil Durk. Like, oh. This is 30 songs. It would be impossible for me to. Wait, I think this is exclamation mark. Oh yeah, exclamation mark sold 50K, so it didn't even sell that much. Huh. Wait, I think Academic Suite. Oh, it did sell 55K. Oh, this is 51K. Okay, two different things. Two different things. But even if you go to like My Turn, right? My Turn, like great quality music on it, and this was getting a lot of hype, right? Because Lil Baby had what you call it, He had Something to Prove, and what was the other single he dropped for the song? Oh yeah, well, I meant well. Those two albums are going crazy. You would hear that just going to basketball games or something like that, going out at the store or something like that. You would hear those two songs, right? But this album only sold like 200K first week. Now, obviously, this ended up being one of the most streamed albums of 2020. But that goes for the later part, right? Eternal Take. Eternal Take goes into what I was saying about anticipation. Eternal Take had top three anticipation of any rap album probably ever. I would say Whole Lotta Red, Eternal Take, probably Music, the most three anticipated rap albums ever. Actually, maybe CLB's up there. Maybe CLB. But by the way, the only reason I didn't say anything about Drake in this video is because it's Drake, bro. Obviously, Drake is gonna be Drake. Drake is gonna get his numbers no matter what, even if it's a collab album with Trash Party Next Door. But Eternal Take sold like 300K first week, 350K first week. Let me be specific. I think it sold like 400K first week if you want to include merch bundles, because I'm pretty sure merch bundles weren't being included around this time. But 350K first week is matching up with like Kendrick, because Kendrick's missing around the big steppers. So like 360K first week, or maybe it was like no, I think he sold like. Let me just look it up. Let me just look it up. Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers, first week sales. 200. Okay, yeah. It barely outsold. Wait, no. That means Eternal Take sold more. Eternal Take did not sell less than 350K. I know that. Like, that's my favorite album ever. I know that for sure. Something's wrong. But I want to get to the examples of rappers falling off because they didn't simply promote their albums the correct way. Roddy Ricch could have simply bounced back from what you call it? Bounce back from Live Life Fast, right? Because Roddy Ricch is still a good rapper. He still drops good rap music to this day, honestly. But he dropped the big three in I think 2022. Roddy Roach. But yeah, this was just trash. Every song on here was trash. Unmotivated songs. Like again, it had good segments in the song, but it's just lazy approaches from Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch wasn't hungry like he was on Please Excuse Me to be antisocial, which caused these songs to flop, right? Then he drops a couple singles, but the singles didn't have promotion. And again, I'm gonna keep saying promotion because promotion is probably just the biggest thing in general. Because like you could say promotion and anticipation goes hand in hand. There's no promotion to any of the singles they dropped. Um, the first single that he dropped was good, great single. And no, it's not Cardi. Stop Breathing by Roddy Ricch is a great song. Um, Aston Martin Truck by Roddy Ricch is also a great song. Hold up. Aston Martin Truck by Roddy Ricch is also a great song. Twin, which I think was the last single for Roddy Ricch's album that I'm about to get to, another great song. Now I actually did hear Twin on the radio and stuff like that, but streaming wise, it did not do well. Like as you can see, the music video only got it got 11 million views. Maybe Twin is bigger than I thought. Maybe Twin specifically is bigger than I thought. Again, the album though didn't do well. What was I about to say? What's the album called? Feed the Streets, Feed the Streets, Feed the Street by Roddy Ricch. He tried to go back a little bit to his old ways, and it did have some good songs on it. And it was a mixtape. It didn't do well. Now, Roddy Ricch is supposed to drop another album. He was supposed to have been dropped, honestly. I think he was supposed to drop it last December. But that's probably gonna flop too, just because it's probably too late for Roddy Ricch to make a like actual comeback, especially considering I can't name you a Roddy Ricch song that's dropped since this dropped. But I don't know. It's just like Roddy Ricch is horrible at promoting. He didn't really promote Please Give Me to be antisocial, to be to be fair. But At the same time, before that, he was hanging out with Kendrick, hanging out. Wait, no, I think he had a leaked song with Drake. He obviously had Ballin. Like he was already having a great year before that, and he's already coming off Feed the Streets too, which had every season. What did Feed the Streets 2 have? Actually, I'm not even gonna look that up. It's gonna waste too much time. Anyway, Feed the Streets 3 only sold 40K first week, which actually isn't as bad as I thought. But I don't imagine the Navy album's gonna sell much more than that, if more than that at all. I say the Navy album sells like 30K first week. Just because, how are you gonna say it's dropping? I think he said December, and it still has not dropped yet. What is delaying the album? I don't understand what's delaying the album, bro. I don't know, bro. Another example of people not promoting albums is just the baby in general. Like when the baby did eventually drop, it wasn't good. He keep That's one problem with the baby. He's doing the young boy method when it comes to singles, at least. The baby releases like a single every month, which is not a good thing. Because back in like back when he was in his prime, like 2020, 2021, when he was man, when he would drop a single, it would actually be good. Like Masterpiece, um, Ball When I Want to. Those songs did great. I heard both of those songs on the radio, but now this seems kind of overplayed, especially since he has a similar flow to every song. Um, I will say, Baby on Baby 2 was not a good album, but How the F Is This a Mixtape? That was actually a pretty good mixtape. But the baby didn't promote it, and no one really cared. Better Than You with YoungBoy was pretty good, but no one really cared. See, YoungBoy was very close to falling off, but I ain't gonna talk about that in this video. But obviously, when you drop Blame It On Baby, which has Suge, which has Babysitter with Offset, Carpet Burn, Pony, which has all those songs, and do you follow that up with Kirk? He had the song intro that went crazy. Rest in peace to the baby's brother. And that. But what was I about to say? Oh yeah, Kirk went crazy too. A couple months after that, he dropped "Blame It On Baby," and then he doesn't really drop anything after that. Like he didn't drop at all in 2021. Now again, he was canceled for most of that year, but like he didn't drop anything. Um, the next thing he dropped was "Better Than You, Young Boy," and people were confused when that got announced because people thought like it was one of the two got hacked or something. Like I think it came out like a day before that they were dropping the collab album. Like I bet if I ask majority of people, people don't even know this album exists, which is crazy to me. But yeah, three things that goes into the album flopping or someone falling off: it's music, anticipation, and promotion. I think that's it. Again, not every album at least fits this criteria, but every rapper does. Because Lil Baby, even though the stats won't show that he fell off yet, he did. People don't appreciate New Lil Baby. Obviously, New Lil Baby still gonna keep getting bumped. New met old Roddy Ricch is still gonna get bumped. Old Baby still gonna get bumped. Other new stuff is they already fell off. They can't come back. That's the end of the video. Like if you enjoyed.